Hello there, and welcome to yet another interesting segment of the newspaper review right here on TAF TV for today, the 27th day of May 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and as you know, it has always been my pleasure to bring you the newspaper headlines right here. But shortly before I do that, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, all of the interesting headlines will be coming your way. Please stay with us. We'll be back after the short break.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Right, you're welcome back from that short break to join me as we take a look at our first paper for today. The first paper we shall be looking at is The Nation. Amongst the headlines in The Nation, we have here, this one here says, How Sanwo-Olu, Abiodun, Abdulrazak won tickets. How Sanwo-Olu, Abiodun, Abdulrazak won tickets. Okay, and then next on The Nation, we have Sultan, fish out, prosecute unknown gunmen. That's according to Sultan. He's saying fish out and prosecute unknown gunmen. That's on page 5 of The Nation. And on page 7 of The Nation, we have Man laments effect of interest rate hike. Man laments effect of interest rate hike. Consumers may pay more. That's on page 7 of The Nation. And on page 3 of The Nation, we have I didn't abandon youth service. Odwa insists. On page 3, she says, I didn't abandon youth service. Odwa insists. And lastly, on page 5, I beg your pardon, of The Nation, we have primaries monetized. A mess, says Jonathan. Primaries monetized, a mess, says Jonathan. That's on page 5 of The Nation. Okay, that's the much we can take in The Nation for today. I'm taking you straight now to our next paper for today. We shall be looking at The Punch. And amongst the headlines in The Punch, we have here, in the mid part of The Punch, that's on page 2, fresh crisis hits APC. Factions boycott polls, threaten suits. Fresh crisis hits APC. Factions boycott polls, threaten suits. Okay, that's on page 2 of The Punch. And on page 16 of The Punch, we have Buhari attends AU summit in Malabo. Buhari attends AU summit in Malabo. That's on page 16 of The Punch. And on page 29 of The Punch, we have APC primary. APC primary court decides Jonathan's fate today. Ex-president gets waiver. Court decides Jonathan's fate today. Ex-president gets waiver. That's on page 29 of The Punch. And on page 14 of The Punch, we have Osinachi. Osinachi, federal government slams homicide charges against husband. Federal government slams homicide charges against husband on page 14. And lastly, on The Punch for today, we have here Tinubu, Kwankwaso, Ekweremadu may lead regional parties. Tinubu, Kwankwaso, Ekweremadu may lead regional parties. That's on page 8 of The Punch. All right, that's the much we can take in The Punch. You want more details on those headlines you just heard, do get a copy of The Punch and The Nation for yourself. All right, straight now to our next and last paper for today. We shall be taking a look at the headlines in the Daily Sun. And amongst the major headlines in the Daily Sun for today, we have here on page 6 and 27. This one says, APC presidential primary, Lawan, Osibanjo, Tinubu, Onu, Amechi, Umahi look strong. APC presidential primary, Lawan, Osibanjo, Tinubu, Onu, Amechi, Umahi look strong. That's on page 6 and 27 of the Daily Sun. And on page 8 of the Daily Sun, we have APC Gubber, Sanwo-Olu, Yahaya, Abiodun, Zulum, Sule, Boni get second-term tickets. I go again, APC Gubber, Sanwo-Olu, Yahaya, Abiodun, Zulum, Sule, Boni get second-term tickets. Okay, that's on page 8. And on page 26 of Daily Sun, we have Buhari travels out to attend AU extraordinary meeting in Malabo. Buhari travels out to attend AU extraordinary meeting in Malabo. And on page 6, we have PDP presidential primary, police deploy massively to prevent crisis. Police deploy massively to prevent crisis, I beg your pardon. Okay, and lastly, in the Daily Sun for today, this one says, sit at home. Hoodlums burn motorcycle. Tricycle in Nsukka, sit at home. Hoodlums burn motorcycle and tricycle in Nsukka. That's on page 4 of the Daily Sun. Okay, that's the much we can take in the newspaper headlines for today. Thank you so much for staying faithful to your screen. Right about now, it's time for us to move over to our discussion segment, a segment where we shall be talking on some of the headlines you just heard. But shortly before we do that, we'll go on another short break. And when we return, we'll take you straight to our discussions for today. Please do not go away. Just stay tuned. We'll be back after the short break.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited. Okay, you're welcome back from that short break, and going straight now to our discussions for today. And joining me in the discussion segment is Mr. Sunny Gamarai. Mr. Sunny, you're welcome to join me.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Mr. Sunny, one of the very interesting headlines in the papers for today is the one concerning Osinachi. You know, a lot of persons have actually been thinking that that particular incident that happened, which caused her demise, have been swept under the carpet. But currently, the federal government have slammed the homicide charge against the husband. And a lot of persons are actually happy concerning that, while some are saying it's still not enough.
So what do they want the government to do? They should bury the man alive.
I don't know what your take is on that.
Okay, anyway, I like the fact that the process is swift, like it's fast. you know, but sometimes when I was reading this morning, I just said, this federal government says sometimes they don't know how to mind their business. But of course, it's a state case, it's a government case anyway. But we want to also see people that murdered Deborah, you know, to be brought to book. Yes, because after the last time, what we heard was that, okay, they've picked two persons, the person is in the police station, and you know the whole team of lawyers they brought, the accused, and all the drama. Right now, we are not hearing anything again. So if they can quickly just give a charge like this, I think this should be applicable. Nobody is a sacred cow and nobody is above the law. You understand? So we want to also see justice for that case.
Obviously, no one is above the law. All right, shortly before we call it a day, I'd like to know your take on a particular headline in the Punch for today. That's concerning the governorship primaries, where we have fresh crisis hits APC, factions boycott polls, threaten suits. So I don't know what your take is on that particular headline.
For the primaries, you know, both APC and PDP have been having their primaries this week. And even though the parties have tried so well to try and suppress what is going on in those polling units, but Nigerians already know that there were crises, and some people were aggrieved, some people were not happy with the particular candidates that emerged from each party, even here in Rivers State, you know. But this morning, I could hear those that lost in PDP, they were saying, oh, they're going to support whoever the party has picked, the party is above them, you know, blah, blah, blah. So even in some states, you know, outside Nigeria, politics is just a game of interest. So people will always be aggrieved, people will not always be satisfied with the process. So
definitely,
yes.
Definitely, politics is a game of interest. Those are the words of Mr. Sani Gomora. Mr. Sani Gomora, thank you so much for your time on the show today. But unfortunately, I have to call it a wrap on the show today. As for you, who has been faithful to your screen, thank you so much for sticking there. Without you, we would not be here, obviously. This is the newspaper review right here on TAF TV. Once again, my name remains Cyril Aloysius. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. On YouTube, we're at TAF TV. On Instagram, we're at TAF TV_NG. On Facebook, we're at TAF TV. And on Twitter, we are TAF TV. And don't forget, you can also be a part of this discussion. Just in case you heard any of the headlines that actually interest you and you have an opinion, you have a question to ask, you can do that by dropping your questions in the comment section of any of our social media handles. This is where you have to call it a wrap. Once again, until we come your way again next time, do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.